Not lit. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Andrews the podcast, Real Talk Tuesday. Um, I'll start off by saying that the mayor won't be here tonight because the town they're in their budget season, and so he's actually doing real work for the town of Andrews. But I am here with the awful green screen. That's why you see the green behind me. But we're going to get through this tonight because I got a very important show. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that the Andrews Church of Christ is partnering with the St. James Wellness Center out there in Santee to put together a Men's Health Day, and we're going to talk all about that here shortly. And so, but before we get into that, let me officially get this thing started by saying that if you are not registered to vote, make sure you go and register to vote. Keep in mind that in South Carolina, you got to be registered 30 days prior to the election that you want to vote in. And I'm speaking definitely to the people of Georgetown, the city, and because you guys got some important races coming up here very soon. So just keep that in mind as we move along. Again, on the bottom of the screen, you see scrolling there is the information to the Andrews Church of Christ located in Andrews, South Carolina. Address and phone number. Before we get into that, I wanted to bring this up. I posted something today about bullying, okay, and just asking the question: is the policy for Georgetown County on bullying is it working? And what sparked that question was the last situation that was in the newspaper with the young lady. She was in there, tears on her face. And it broke my heart. It really broke my heart to see that young lady on that newspaper. I mean, plastered all over the internet. Now, where she should have been getting herself together for her senior situation, she's dealing with this huge embarrassment. She definitely made a mistake, and which I couldn't understand why would a young lady call the school and do whatever it is she's accused of doing. But as that played out, before I could comment on it, which I just really didn't want to comment on it because that's why I don't want to show the young lady's face now. It's just it broke my heart to see that young lady in tears. Hopefully none of you ever experience going to jail. It's very traumatic. And so for an 18-year-old child who should be getting ready to graduate, that's definitely something that I don't think that should be happening to a kid. But it brought up a lot of questions because right before that, we had the incident over in Waccamaw about bullying. And then once some more investigation was done, it was that this young lady who I'm talking about was bullied. And it made me say this. That situation that's not the right messaging for that young lady. I hope she's able to get this. I know people may be making you feel justified in what you did, but the proper response to bullying is not to call the school and then now put yourself in harm's way. And I saw where people were saying they need to crack down on bullying, and that's the truth. And that's why I brought it up, because I want to have a conversation. I want some of the parents who have been experiencing this to come on and let's talk about it, because again, in that situation, I think the messaging was completely off. Where people justified what that young lady did by saying that she was being bullied. And I don't know that that's the I know that's not the appropriate messaging. That's not what that young lady needed to hear. Nobody needs to reinforce her bad decision. Again, nobody should be bullied, but then calling and threatening the school, how does that affect the bully? Which makes me say, well, was the child really bullied, or is this becoming the new out for a kid? A kid realizes that, hey, I'm backed in this corner, boom, boom, boom. Hey, they bullying me. Where there's supposed to be all of these different things in place to even prevent, that from happening. But again, that's part of a larger conversation that I want to have on bullying in Georgetown County. And it'd be good if some officials from the district, if you worked in the district before or something like that, could come and add some levity to the conversation, because I think I'm starting to, wondering, is it an out? Is that the excuse that every kid's gonna, because I promise you, calling and threatening somebody else's life is not the appropriate reaction to a bully. So again, we I just want Georgetown County to look into this. But right now we want to talk about the Church of Christ family and what they're doing in the community. And to help me with this conversation, I have a lady who does a lot of work in the community, Sanford area, but Andrews, Georgetown County. And that's Miss Leona Miller, who I know as Miss Tiger. But good evening and welcome to the podcast, ma'am.
Good evening, Jamal. Thank you for having me.
Oh, good. You know how it rock, And see, this is how it works. Miss Miller said, boom, you reached out to me a simple text. Hey, can blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, come on. Because I am supposed to be the place for information. And but that's why we here. So Miss Miller, tell us a little. Well, let me read what you sent me here first. Okay. Andrews Church of Christ is partnering with St. James Santee Health and Wellness to promote Men's Health Day on, one day, 2 events. May 17th at 9 a.m. Ladies, join us for our first Ladies Day since 2019. And men, don't feel left out, again, because it's Men's Health Day. But, you got to let the ladies do their thing first. Don't feel left out. St. James Santee Health and Wellness will be offering free PSA screenings for you at 9 a.m. as well. So, again, welcome, and tell us a little bit about what we got going on here, Miss Miller.
Okay. So, like you said, it's going to be 2 events. We are hosting our first Ladies' Day since 2019, and just being aware of the importance of men's health. I've reached out to St. James Santee, and I spoke with the community outreach person, who's Madison, and Miss Gwen Brown. And so we're going to collaborate together on that day, and they're going to come out with their mobile bus and mobile clinic,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to do the PSA screening. There are most men wait almost till it's too late. Wait until there's a big issue that occur before they get the PSA level check. We are trying to encourage everyone, all men, to come out and have that screening. It's just a blood work. They'll draw your blood and do the test. It should be back in a couple of days, and they'll notify you. And hopefully everything is great. But if it is elevated, then hopefully you catch it at a point where it's not as serious as a year from now or 2 years from now. So we're encouraging everyone, wives, if you're coming to the Ladies' Day, bring your husband to get that screening. Encourage your brothers, your uncles, your dad. Come out, and if you are 50 years old and you have not had your PSA level check, come out and get your PSA level check.
And what do men need to bring with them?
Just bring your ID. She really wanted me to have a list of anybody who's going to be there. They want to have at least 15 men to come out to be screened. And that's why I'm promoting this. And I went to different churches and hand out flyers. We send it out to other communities. This is a very important event. If the numbers on Jamal has scrolled the number at the bottom of the screen, the church number. If you're interested in coming, just call that number, leave leave a message on the voicemail, leaving your name and your date of birth. That's all. That's it. We just need your name and your date of birth, and
Okay.
and then we'll pass that on to St. James Santee. And the reason I said the date of birth, and they didn't say the date of birth, they just said name. I just said the date of birth so that they would know your age, and I'm not sure what the cutoff age is. Well, what's the minimum age? But just so that if you're like 22 and they think that's too early, then I can call you back and say, hey, just be mindful, but follow up with your physician in 5 years or 3 years or whatever St. James Santee would let me know.
I'll be in the area, and I know a couple guys that I'm gonna get up there. I'm not even gonna ask them, what it is, what I'm not gonna ask them, because that's you're right. A lot of times we get the diagnosis and it's a death sentence because we ignored all the signs, and we just just kept rolling along. So I'm gonna read a little bit about what the PSA blood test is. The PSA blood test is a blood test that measures the amount of prostate specific antigen. Right, that's what the PSA stands for, prostate. So you guys talking about prostate cancer, and they always giving us these numbers about how African Americans rank high in these categories, and it's because we just don't go. Let's see. It says in your blood. Let's see. PSA is a protein produced by normal cells in the prostate and also by prostate cancer cells. It's normal to have a small amount of PSA in your blood, and the amount rises slightly as you get older. Let's see. And your prostate gets bigger. And this is the part that tell your family members, because some of you gonna be like, all right, come on, Uncle such and such, and somebody come on, and they're gonna be like, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm gonna go down there and find something, they're gonna find something wrong with me or something like that.
Right.
And so this part right here is the part that just because you have it says a raised PSA level may suggest you have a raised PSA level may suggest you may have a problem with the prostate, but not necessarily cancer. And that's that time period that we're talking about, that once these elevated levels are detected, now you can start treatment, get, and live longer.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes, Jamal. And that's it. It's like, don't just take for granted if I don't know, it's not going to affect me, because you need to know. There are plenty of people who didn't know, and then when they did find out, it was too late. So, encourage your brothers, your uncle, your dad, your husband to come out and have their PSA level check. It is better to find out in the early stage, where if it is elevated, then the doctors can tell you exactly what the procedure, the protocol that they need to go with to help get your PSA level at a place where it needs to be. But not knowing isn't going to help you.
No, and there's no excuse to not know now. Again, because of this partnership with the Church of Christ and Church of Christ, which is located at 3 Pope Street in Andrews, South Carolina, and the St. James Wellness, that I don't know why I always have trouble saying that, but
Health and wellness.
It's just another one of those things that is being brought to the community. We got to take advantage of it, and it's gonna be, it's just like with voting, man. Pick somebody up, pick a man up. If he's 50 or 50 older, and you pretty much know who's going to the doctor regularly or not. And just say, man, let's go over here. I just want to make sure you're okay.
Yeah. And I mean, it's an easy procedure. It's just a blood draw. It's just a blood draw, one tube, and that's it. And that is it. And they will hopefully notify you within a week and let you know what was the outcome of your blood work.
Absolutely. Again, this is May 17th. May 17th is
The Saturday after Mother's Day. So it's
Saturday
next
after
Saturday.
Mother's Day. Okay. So no doubt. Yeah, guys, make sure you
And
get
it is
behind
from
this.
9 to 11. So please plan to be there at 9 o'clock. Of course, if you come at 11, I'm sure they're still going to see you. But please don't come at 12 o'clock because they'll probably be gone by 12. So we encourage you all to just get up and come get your blood work done and then go back home and eat breakfast.
There you go, man. That's good things right there. Again, Church of Christ, again, located in Andrews, South Carolina, 3 Pope Street. You can call the number on the screen, 843-264-5690, to make an arrangement, that let people know, let the folks know that you're coming. Again, I think we can do better than 15 guys. I think I could, I know I'm good for about 4.
Okay, well, we hope so. We really encouraging everyone to come out. This is just so important. Please just don't wait too late.
Absolutely. And so listen, if next Tuesday, if the folks from St. James are willing, we can do this again. Definitely.
I will let them know. Yes.
Yeah, let them know. I mean, and if let's see what I got this week. I got a game Thursday. If they want to do it Friday, or just you let me know, and I work on. I know I got a game Thursday, but after that, I'm pretty much or tomorrow or whenever, because this is important, and I think we can get a couple of these done before the actual before May 17th.
Okay. Well, I certainly will. I will let them know. I'll reach out. It was just a conflict with the nursing staff, but I will reach back out to them, and then I'll get back in touch with you this week, Jamal.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Look forward to
it.
seeing lots of men on Saturday the 17th to come out to the mobile health clinic.
All right. Thank you very much. And you have a good evening, okay?
You too. Okay, bye-bye.
All right. All right, guys, there it is. My peoples in Andrews. You see what it is. St. James Health and Wellness. Again, they're partnering Andrews Church of Christ is partnering with St. James Santee Health and Wellness to promote Men's Health Day. 1 day, 2 events, May 17th, and that's going to be from 9 to 11 a.m. Ladies, join us for our first day since 2019. And like she said, bring your husbands, your significant others along with you. Get them boys in there and get that checkup. Get this test done. And I mean, because again, this is just like, with the HIV thing, you need to know your status. You really do need to know your status, know where you stand at in this thing, in order to be able to fight if you have to fight, and if not, to be able to maintain and keep the way you're going. Okay. All right. Join us for Ladies' Day, first Ladies' Day since 2019. And men, don't feel left out. St. James Santee Health and Wellness will be offering a free PSA screening. And again, the PSA is to test the prostate specific antigen levels. Okay. And this is that time when, everything may feel like it's going good and all that. So, don't be afraid. Go and take advantage of this service right here that's going to be provided. Again, shout out to the Church of Christ. One more time, that address is Andrews Church of Christ, 3 Pope Street, Andrews, South Carolina, 29510. Phone number is 843-264-5690. And I want to shout out the Blackville Hilda. That's whose shirt I'm wearing, the Hawks right now. The coach is my barber, who I need to go see tomorrow. But want to shout them out. I was able to go take some photos for a couple of the games this year. But anyway, again, great job, Mrs. Miller. I appreciate you guys. I don't have much to harp on tonight. Again, if you are a parent of a child that has been bullied or a child who's been accused of bullying, you know what I mean? I want to have a real good conversation, a real open conversation about that, because again, my heart was broken when I saw that little girl on that on the cover all over the internet, charged with making threats to the school, and then the heartbreak turned to confusion when the thing was seemingly explained away as a case of bullying. You know what I mean? Somebody retaliating against a bully. I promise you, that's not the way to retaliate against a bully. A lot of times, I mean, I don't know what's changed. Punch the bully in the mouth. That's probably not the best advice, but I don't know. You may know better than me. What I do know is that I am about to get out of here. I'm gonna play something that's gonna get me. I ain't gonna play that. Not on top of that good show we just had. I'm gonna rock out with a little countdown. But y'all have a good evening.